What up, guys? It's Connor in the cabin. This is take number 3, all because I rambled too much. I like to say how many takes it is so you guys get a little bit of a realistic take of how long it takes. I don't know why I do it. It's just fun to say how many takes because I'm too stupid to do this. uh, anyways, I'm not gonna do the little 4 ramble like I did last time because it took like 5 minutes to get my 4 ramble on. I might ramble at the end for fun. But what I wanted to talk about this video, I'm gonna jump straight into it, is why the world feels so off. Why does it feel so wrong? Unnatural? I don't know. Something like that. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it's AI, bro, or it's the billionaires, man. Like, listen, most of us are bombarded 24/7 with that kind of media. You know, whatever you want to say, it's the liberals, it's the billionaires, it's the communists, it's the capitalists. We all know that shit. But I feel like there's a big overarching thing which no one really talks about. And that is lack of natural consequences. Lack of natural consequences. Think about it. When you, let's just say you're in customer service or just in public, anything, and you're witnessing the most rude dickbag Karen or just Billy Bob Joe, whatever the hell, I don't care what it is. They're just rude and annoying, and everyone in the whole building is like, God, this person is just an asshole. I hate them, Those people get to walk around all day just making everyone's life miserable. Do you know why? Because there are no consequences to that. There's no consequences to that. Now, if we're in a world like any time before modern times, those people would have been corrected a long time ago. And by corrected, I mean beaten the fuck up, Someone would have pimp slapped Karen and said, stop fucking mouthing off like that. Or someone would have punched Billy Bob Joe and he would have been lying flat on the concrete. Whatever. Cobblestone back in the day, I guess. Now, I'm not saying we should just beat the shit out of everyone we disagree with or everyone who's annoying us. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that there are people out there nowadays, because the system allows certain behaviors to exist without having consequences, that there are people who just walk around being absolute pieces of shit for everything. And then there's people who you think are great, wonderful people who are being punished for no reason, You see this all the time in the legal system. Like, some guy robs you or some guy robs you or robs some random person. That person fights back, and what does the system do? It frees the guy who robs you and then locks up the guy who defended himself. It's like, at any point of history at all, there wouldn't have been a trial about this stuff. It's like, you try to rob someone and they kill you, that's your fault for trying to rob them, not you killed someone or you hurt someone because they robbed you, we're going to lock you up, And it makes people and everyone just too scared to do literally anything, Like, you see this with shoplifters. They just shoplift indiscriminately in cities because they know they're not going to get punished, and you get punished for trying to stop them. So it's like you're incentivizing bad behaviors, and you wonder why everything feels just so weird and wrong all the time, And it sounds like minute, but it's the little things all add up over time. It's like this little thing doesn't have a natural consequence, and suddenly the next thing doesn't have a little consequence. And all of our social interactions used to be built on natural consequence, Like, I feel like guys understand this a little bit more just because we've been so hardwired to we know that there is a point in which there's no more talking. We're just gonna beat the shit out of each other, you know? And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Like some guys take it too far, like everything it's a bell curve. But most guys, it actually keeps us in check from being complete assholes sometimes because we know if we're going to keep being a complete asshole forever, someone is going to punch us in the face, you know? Which is why sometimes when women get confrontational, they literally cannot be stopped. Because we have a system that's like, if you touch a woman, you're suddenly the bad person. You're just a bad person. No matter what she does, you are in the wrong. So some women feel emboldened to do all sorts of horrible, terrible shit just because they know there's no consequences. And what I'm saying about natural consequences is that, like, sometimes people need to have the ability to enact their consequences on other people for what people do to them, you know? Like, most of society before we had such overarching systems and constant surveillance and whatever was just other people keeping everyone in check, you know? Everyone just kept each other in check. And that's why women, especially, are so not acute. What is it? They're so in tune with emotions. They can pick up on the slightest of slights because throughout all of human history, except for now, like those little slights were things about, those little slights had consequences. They were little markings of being excommunicated from the group. And like being a woman or a man, being excommunicated from the community meant you're dead. I'm taking a drink of water, sorry. The natural consequence of talking to yourself in a 100-degree cabin is you need water. You see? As I was saying, women are very, in tune with that. And that there's a reason for that. You know? Men are very in tune with the fact that there is a line. There is an invisible line that if you do things, you will get beat the fuck up. But the system nowadays doesn't allow any of those natural consequences to ever happen. Which means all sorts of other weird consequences come because of it. You know? Now that we stopped beating people up as dudes who just need it, there's certain people, especially little teenagers, who just would do good with just a few punches in the face. It would make them stop being so brash and ridiculous. You know? It would solve a lot of problems just with a few fucking negative consequences for their horrible behavior. But we can't do that, so they grow up their entire lives being a little shit. Or nuisance streamers. There would be no nuisance streamers if someone would rock their shit sometimes. But you can't, because you go to jail. You face a disproportionate punishment. Like, you go to jail for a year or two and have that on your record versus this guy, would just get punched in the face once or twice and he maybe learn to stop doing it. Oh, excuse me, my lord. Yeah, I feel like that is a huge reason why the world just feels so wrong. Or we could go with taxes. That's another big thing. Is when you're talking about taxes or money, you just say, hey, would you pay for something you don't like? No. No, I wouldn't, actually. Most people wouldn't. Almost everyone wouldn't pay for things they don't want or wouldn't want. But yet, 80% of our taxes are completely squandered on shit that most people don't want spent on, We don't agree to this shit. A bunch of bureaucrats in an office, getting high on their own farts agreed to it. And everyone else has to face the consequences to it. That's the shit that makes everyone feel like this world sucks. Is that you have no agency. Everyone else is making your decisions for you. You don't even get the chance to just enact your own will. To just be like, this is wrong, I I want to enact my will against the world, That's why people feel so helpless. Why people feel like anything they do, anytime they try, it's completely moot. Because there's a system that punishes you for having your own will, for enacting your own will, for standing up for yourself, for defending yourself, for standing up for what you believe in. I feel like that's the biggest reason why everyone feels like the world sucks. Why Gen Z feels like there's no point to anything. We can argue and bicker all the time about what, AI this, blah, blah, blah. But we're missing the overarching point is that, like, people don't even feel like they can do anything because there's a system that doesn't let you do anything. Yeah. I guess I'm going to try to end it there. I'm going to keep it a little short just because, one, it's getting dark out, and two, I can't really offer any solutions, That's the problem. Either one day we'll return to that by the whole technology shit crumbles. I don't know. Or we'll all just go into AI mode and maybe this will be how humans evolve. We might evolve out of this kind of thing where we trust systems more than our own intuition and self. I don't know. I really know. We might as well just be bees and ants at that point, though. So, I don't know, guys. Tell me your thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you have any experiences with this kind of stuff? I know I do. I know there's lots of times where I'm like, man, I wish that I could just punch this guy in the face. Like, he's just being a total dick. Or, I don't know why people are screaming at me. Or, why are people so rude all of a sudden? You know what? I will have a tiny 1 minute tangent. Why are people so fucking rude all the time? Back in the day, you had consequences for being rude to everyone, which was either you got your shit rocked or everyone just stopped talking to you and stopped interacting with you. And that was a bad thing back in the day. Like, you had to rely on your community. Now that everybody can be, self-sufficient in a way, I can just, you just work your job and you can order everything on FedEx. You don't even have to interact with anyone. It's now everyone's become a fucking rude asshole. Like, I deliver to people, and the first thing they do when they don't like something is immediately snap at me. Like, bark at me like I'm a fucking... like they're a dog. They're like, why'd you do that? Why'd you put it there? I want it here. It's like, do you not understand? If you just approached me with hey, could you put this over here? I would just say yes. I'm a pretty accommodating guy. But the second you bark at me, it's like, dude, I'm not going to fucking listen to you now. You've just pissed me off. And there's no point to that. Naturally, you would have been excommunicated and everything would have worked itself out. But now these people just keep getting to be more and more rude. And nothing ever happens to them. That shit's annoying. Anyways, now leave your comments with your experiences or anything you'd like to add. I hope you guys have a good night. Peace. That was a PewDiePie ripoff, I guess.